Hello everybody, good evening, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your watch-along for Newcastle against Arsenal. I hope you're all doing very well. There has been some controversy in the Premier League this afternoon, not just in my club's game, Manchester United obviously beating Fulham, but certainly without a shadow of a doubt there was some controversy in that one. I'm a little bit late because I've just been looking at the Wolves game and it's an absolute disgrace, if I'm honest with you, as is what's going on here. Let me just pull that off there. Yeah, absolute disgrace. Fulham obviously lost to Manchester United today, but Wolves, for the second week in a row, have been absolutely robbed. Absolutely robbed. Disgraceful penalty decision. These referees don't play the game. I've played the game. He's literally stamped his foot in the way of the Wolves player to win a penalty. And they've bought it. They've absolutely bought it. Doku is a Neymar regen, says Ass. His full name's not Ass, but I don't know how to pronounce the next one. And also as well, what else? Oh, the biggest injustice of the week as well. Lewis Dunk. Now, if you listen to my Goldbridge Saves Football podcast, every Friday, we predict the goal scorers for the weekend. You have to pick 5 goal scorers, and bonus is a defender that gets you 2 points and a clean sheet. What does Goldbridge pick this week as his defender to score? You've bloody guessed it. Dunk. Goldbridge goes for a slam dunk. I predicted that Dunk would score as my wild card defender this week. Not only did he scored a bloody worldie. And guess what? It's ruled out for offside. I've seen the lines. I don't trust them. I don't trust those lines at all. To me, it looks like Gross has already kicked the ball. And also, the hand and the arm is in a similar position. You can't be offside for your hand. I just think that at the end of the day, when are we going to get a scenario with our officiating that they side with goals and entertainment and football fans? The beautiful game, the people's game, has become a game for nerds on computers. That's what it is. They are ruining our game. They could never play it at school. They could never play it on a Sunday afternoon because they were crap at it. And now they've infiltrated our game. They weren't good enough to play it. And now they're ruining it with their algorithms and their computers. Get back playing Civilization or whatever other shit it is you play on your computers because you're ruining football. You nerds. Same penalty Newcastle got last week, says Connor. Yeah, I definitely agree. But they are ruining the game, aren't they? I mean, Man United should have had a goal today. 100% should have been a goal. Thankfully, we won it at the end. Brighton, I think, have been robbed of another goal. Last week, they were robbed of a red card. Wolves have had 2 penalties in a row. I'm tired of telling you. It's coming to a club near you, unless you're Man City. Every other club in the Premier League is getting screwed on the regular, apart from Man City. So, yeah, absolutely incredible. And then to anybody who says it was, to anybody who says that it was a clear offside for Manchester United, all you got to do is look at the offside for Man City against Fulham a few weeks ago. And when they're not giving that as offside, they've got no right to give the United one as not offside or the Dunk one of offside. They are absolute scammers and the system is broke completely. Anyway, that's how the Premier League looks as of now. That's how it stands. Man City are top. They've demolished Bournemouth today. They're 27 points, plus 20. I've done my annual Man City in crisis video and they've annually started winning games. I'm not doing it next year. Tottenham can go back top if they beat Chelsea on Monday night. Arsenal can go joint top if they win tonight against Newcastle. Newcastle down to 8th. People say Man United are having a bad season. Man United are level with Brighton and they are ahead of Newcastle. So Newcastle have an opportunity themselves to go up to, 6th today if they can win at home against Arsenal. Brentford, very, very good win for Brentford as well. I really thought that West Ham were going to win that. If you think Man United don't get the rub of the green, just look at Wolves again. Robbed of a draw against Sheffield. Absolute farce. I'm over it. It's ruining the game and I'm struggling to watch games, says Bunnings. I personally think Wolves and Brighton have had it worse than anyone this season. And I think Wolves have had it terrible. Absolutely terrible. I will... I'm on Talk Sport with the Mark Goldbridge show at 7:30, so I will certainly be giving Wolves a shout out. I'm here. I'm a justice warrior. Doesn't matter whether it's Liverpool, Arsenal, clubs I don't like. If you are cheated or wronged, then I will call you out. So definitely calling out Wolves. They've been robbed again, as far as I'm concerned, by people who don't play the game. VAR is unreliable, inconsistent, and cannot give penalties, says Callum. And look at our goal difference, Mark. It's embarrassing. Man United's goal difference isn't great, but we've got more points than Newcastle. We've got the same points as Brighton. So at the end of the day, the reason United are where they are, by the way, is if you look at the draw column, we haven't drawn a game. This is what you do. We've lost 5. We've lost more than anybody in the top half when you look at it. Man United have lost 5 games. No one else has even lost 4 apart from Crystal Palace. But we haven't drawn a game, and that's why we're up there. There we go. I want to talk about Anthony Taylor being demoted to the Championship. Absolutely correct. But the problem is they've got so many crap refs, they can't relegate enough. Let's have a look at the team news anyway. We're sponsored by OneFootball on this stream. OneFootball is the place to get all your latest breaking football news, transfer news, but it's also a brilliant stats provider. We get the team stats provided by the OneFootball sponsorship, but you can get the individual stats as well for any game. You can go and have a look at who's done the passes and all that stuff. Links in the video description. Download OneFootball for free. Apple, Android, all of that. And also, you can scan the QR code in the top right-hand corner. So let's start with the Newcastle side. As you can see on the screen there, you've got Pope, Trippier, Shah, Lascelles, Byrne, Bruno Guimaraes, Longstaff, Joel Linton, Almiron, Wilson, Gordon. They beat Man United with their B team the other night. This is their A team at the moment. They've got a lot of injuries, but they're good to go. And then Arsenal today are putting Raya back in goal. I mean, can I get a bit of love, please? Can I get a bit of love? Little bit of love for Goldbridge, please. Only a little bit. The reason I ask is, you know what I'm going to say. What did I say to you in the summer? Raya will be number 1 for Arsenal. Raya's number 1 for Arsenal. I don't like to say I told you so, but there was a lot of arguments in the summer. There was a lot of arguments at the start of the season. And there was a lot of polls at the start of the season. And I said, Raya will be number 1 for Arsenal. And I'm right. And I like Ramsdale, but as soon as he brought him in, I knew it was going to happen. Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, Rice, Jorginho, Havertz, Saka, Nketiah, and Martinelli. I don't know where Odegaard is. And if anybody does, let us know. I think that's a big loss for Arsenal. Will it be significant enough for me to change my prediction? I obviously do win, lose or draw with Ben Foster on a Thursday. You'll have seen it this week if you watched it. I've gone with an Arsenal win in this game, but that is... I mean, look, it's useful. It's useful that Arsenal have no Jesus and no Odegaard. So, both teams have injury problems. Can you do a poll, Raya versus Pope, says It's Louis. I'd love to, so I will. What's your thoughts on that, by the way? What's your thoughts on... Jesus out again. He's always out, isn't he? He's out a lot. You might hear some fireworks in the background tonight. It is the 4th of November in the UK and probably everywhere else. The 5th of November is very much a UK celebration. It is called Bonfire Night, or more traditionally, Guy Fawkes Night, who tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament and was caught and tortured. And we celebrate that by having fireworks and a fire and mushy peas and hot dogs. Yeah. Weird, isn't it? But so a lot of people, because it's Saturday the 4th, are having fireworks and bonfires. Some people are doing it next week, which I don't really get. But there we go. It's not a holiday for us, Jake. No, it's not a holiday. If it falls on a Monday, it's not a holiday. But it's a big deal in the UK. When I lived in Ireland, I always found it weird because they don't do it. But it's a UK thing. Yeah. V for Vendetta, yeah, that's what it's all about. Anyway, we're up and running here. Timer's going for you there. What's for dinner, Mark? I've just had meatballs from the shop. You can buy them. I can't remember who does them, but they're very, very nice. Me and Seb just had it, so they're... we don't do it in Ireland. I know, I lived there, Fennick. You don't do it in Ireland. You'd celebrate it. You'd celebrate Guy Fawkes. I mean, maybe you would. But look, I think there is an opportunity for Newcastle here. I think we're going to see a good game. And Newcastle will be rampant, I believe, in these first 20 minutes. And Arsenal will have to hold firm. What's for dessert, says Maguire. I've got some Ribena. There we go. Sandy's having a zippy chippy tea. Are you doing a watch along tomorrow, says Dale. I am. I'm doing Luton Liverpool tomorrow. First time I've done a Luton watch along, I think, this season. So yeah, looking forward to that. Chelsea Spurs on Monday night, of course. Or Spurs Chelsea. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and get involved with the channel. You're all very, very welcome. What's OG Fortnite? Says Kian. Kian says you should play some OG Fortnite. What is it? How's your FPL, Mark? Says Joel. It won't be very good because Haaland didn't do anything and came off at half time. So it won't be very good. Also, I had Areola in goal. He conceded 3. Raya's just under a bit of pressure there, but he's booted it out. I mean, I'll have a look at it in a minute. But I have got Saka in this game. And I've got Lascelles as well, actually. Arsenal just trying to play out from the back here. And Saliba's done very, very well. There was a good press from Newcastle there. But Saliba's done well. I think there'll be goals in this game. Thoughts on Doku, Mark, says Pat. I mean, it just amazes me with Doku that he was a player everybody knew about. And then Man City go and buy him. Like... There's been 18 months where people could have bought Doku and then Man City gone by him. It's just typical Man City, isn't it? They just, you know, it's not even like it's a secret. You know, he was known to be a talent and Man City have gone and got it. Apparently Haaland had a bit of a knock. That's why he came off at half time. Here's Newcastle playing out from the back now and Arsenal instigating the press. Anyway, Anthony Taylor, who is meant to be one of the best referees in the country, was demoted to the Championship this weekend. We believe he was demoted because of the mistake in the Wolves penalty last week. But I don't think Gary O'Neill was saying Wolves didn't get an apology for that. So it looks like he's been demoted for the mistake, but then Wolves have not had the apology. I think the PGMOL are just not giving out apologies anymore because they don't want to be ridiculed for how many they have to make. But I think it's a good thing that Anthony Taylor got demoted. I think it's disgusting that Michael Oliver never has been. I think he's a terrible official, and I think he's pro Man City from his decision making this year. You think about the Kovacic double. The VAR last week for that penalty was ridiculous. The offside that Man City should have had against Fulham. So I think they should be demoting more referees. The problem is there's not good ones to come in and replace them. They don't have good replacement referees. But I feel with the officiating now, unless the volume of bad decisions is so high that we've almost become immune to it. I actually hoped that they were going to improve refereeing from their mistakes. They've actually started making more mistakes. So there's 2 ways to solve a problem. If something's not very good, you either do something about it or you increase the mistakes so that people just get used to it. And I think they're actually increasing the mistakes. Because actually what happens now is, unless it's a huge mistake in a big game, people don't do anything about it. There's not that many of us saying that, United were robbed of a goal again. Wolves were robbed of a penalty decision against them again. I don't think Dunk's offside is clear cut. It's happening all the time and people just get used to it. Shahin says, November the 15th holiday was funny. In Iran, we celebrate Nature Day by camping and trashing everywhere. Interesting way to appreciate the environment, says Shahin. There we go. Get your votes in, by the way. 55% are going with Raya over Ramsdale. If the volume's a bit high for you, I can knock it down a bit. I'm using a different mic because I'm on TalkSport later. So I always use a different mic for TalkSport because it's for radio. So the levels might be a little bit higher than normal. Where can I buy that Man United sweater? This is not a Man United sweater. This is a tracksuit. But if you want the one I was wearing this afternoon, then just go to United Stands Shopify. Callum Wilson here. I've got Callum Wilson to score, actually, on the podcast, Goldbridge. Thanks for everyone who's listening to the podcast, by the way. You are legends. Every Tuesday and Friday. Fridays are basically a look ahead to the weekend. Tuesday's the bigger podcast. And my 5 predicted goal scorers for the weekend were Watkins plays tomorrow, Nunez plays tomorrow, Matoma, who technically didn't score because it was an OG, Wilson, who's playing now, and Son. And then I had Edison, clean sheet, and Dunk, and I didn't get either of those either. Jeff Hyatt, thank you very much. Welcome to Members Club. Italian Alex says United will get top 4. I'm a United fan. I don't think we're getting anywhere near top 4. Not unless everyone else starts dropping a lot of points. Let's get this stats carousel going round, by the way. It's stuck on Arsenal at the moment. There we go. The goal, the Dunk goal was brilliant. You know, even if that was 10 yards offside, I'd have given it. Mark of Newcastle win. You are 8th again. We're 8th now. That's as it stands. We're 8th now. If Newcastle draw. That's a lovely ball by Raya. Look at that. Good tackle. Some good tackles flying in here. I like the intensity of this game. Havertz, still not convinced by him. These are the games where he's got to convince people, isn't it? Nice ball into Saka, though. He's got lots of people around him. Terrible cross. Oh, ref's not going to give a foul for that. Weird. Yeah, there's a very high intensity to this game. Average Noob says, come on, Newcastle. Next, Paul Nketiah versus Wilson. Says it's Louis. Well, Raya's won that one. Raya got 55% of the vote and Pope got 45% of the vote. Joel Linton's just gone down injured here. Looked more of a foul on Saliba, to be fair. Next poll I've been asked to do by It's Louis is Wilson against Nketiah. Get your votes in. What do you think of the Brentford win? Says Ivan. I've already said fantastic. Absolutely incredible win for them. They were down 2-1 and they've won 3-2. That's the second win in a row for Brentford. Beating Chelsea last week. They're climbing table. Willock's warming up. Scored a goal against United, of course, in midweek. Whoever said, well, it's Louis and Nketiah Wilson. It's not close. Carlos says, is Haaland injured? He might be. Hey, we always like a bit of nature on here. I was talking about this yesterday. You know the bird, albatross? It flies non-stop for 6 years, apparently, before landing to mate. Imagine just flying for 6 years. I don't like flying for 40 minutes to Dublin. Imagine having to fly around for 6 years. Oh, I'd hate it. Absolutely hate it. But I don't know why they don't land. I mean, I don't know who's got this information. I mean, if I was an albatross, I'd just land after 6 hours. And then if anyone starts moaning, I'll say, shut up. I thought they said 6 hours, not 6 years. Oh. Hashtag deal with it. Oh, Havertz, shit pass. How do they eat? says Zape. I think they swoop down and eat little dogs. They just swoop down, grab them when they're on a walk and take them away and then just chomp them up while flying. Spit out their collar. There's a lot of reports about this in the areas where albatross fly, but happened in Southwark the other day. Old woman was walking her dog. Albatross came down. I'm going to check my FPL now, actually. Someone just said, "But how you doing?" I don't think I'm doing very well today. Last week I didn't even check it and I did all right. Let's have a look. I didn't make any changes, so points on the board. I've got 13. So I've got 5 from Matoma. Oh, Ferguson. Shit. Forgot about that. Areola 1. Saliba and Lascelles and Saka playing now. I've got Watkins and Salah and Son and Colwill. I'm not going to have a good week. I'm not going to have a good week. I'll tell you that for free. I'm not going to have a good week. Depp is an idiot. We've got an idiot in the chat. Depp is an idiot. He says, albatross only eat fish, you big idiot. Yeah, if you genuinely think there are albatrosses flying around rural England picking up dogs on a walk, you're a prat. Bloody hell. Sarcasm doesn't travel like an albatross, does it? Wilson's beat Nketiah by 72%. Could you do Jeremy Doku or Martinelli, please? It'd be a bit hype, Hessen, but I'll do it for you, yeah. There'll be a lot of recency bias on this. I think Martinelli is just about to get canned here, but I've done it. Doku or Martinelli. We don't need Haaland to win the league, bro, says John. How long you been a Man City fan, John? In minutes, please, to the most accurate hour. Thanks for the polls, Mark. Last one, best run club, Newcastle or Arsenal? I'll come back to that. It's Louis. How do they sleep if they fly for so long? I think they sleep by gliding. Good interception here. Havertz. Nketiah. Out on the wing. I think first goal is going to be important in this game. I feel like for Arsenal, they've got to score first, because if Newcastle score first, they become a very, as PSG saw to their cost, and as Dortmund saw to their benefit. If you can score first against Newcastle at St James's Park, I think you can get a result. But if they score first, it can be a long evening. Italian Alex says, how were there 6 goals for City and no goals for Haaland? He went off at half-time. I must admit, I looked at half-time and it was 3-0, wasn't it? And I looked at it and I was like, I can't believe... I don't want City to win, but if they are going to win, I hope Haaland scores because he's in my FPL. But I didn't get any today. Wasted time. Nick says, he's lost his dog. Let me know if you find it. Speaks the albatross. Corner to Arsenal. Goes into Rice. He's going to shoot from there. Blocked. And goes for a throw-in. I tell you what, United's game was high stress for us United fans today. Scoring late on, getting the win that we needed. Second year in a row we've scored late. I mean, Fulham fans must be sick. We beat them 1-0 away at the end last year. Garnacho, done it again this year with Bruno. But the great thing about winning on a Saturday at 12:30 is you get the whole weekend to just sort of enjoy football, knowing that you've done the maximum your team could do. So I'm content at the moment. No, I wouldn't say I'm happy, but I'm content with what we've done. Mark, is a player you liked that wasn't talented, but their footballing brain was top tier, says Christopher. What, a footballer that was crap that had a good footballing brain? I don't know about that. Predict who will win, says Cole. I've gone with an Arsenal win, which is a little bit controversial because I completely agree that Newcastle are very, very good at home. Uncertainty Principle says albatrosses do spend their first years of their lives at sea without returning to land, but this just doesn't mean they're constantly flying. They regularly land on the water. There we go. Louise O'Donoghue thinks it might be a draw. Rashan, triple captain. Can we just get a moment for Rashan? Rest in peace, Rashan. He triple captained Haaland today. There will be people in the world who triple captained Haaland today. Home to Bournemouth. If I told you, Rashan, it's 6-1 and you didn't know the scorers, you'd probably think you were a genius. But he got no points. Jurgen Klopp wasn't a very amazing player, but big IQ, says Real Authority. Yeah, Wenger. Mourinho. The only reason I haven't... still good intensity here, 20 minutes in. Definitely game of the weekend, isn't it? Well, is it game of the weekend or is Spurs-Chelsea game of the weekend? Very close between Doku and Martinelli, by the way. Doku's winning with 51% at the moment. Had a fantastic day today. Arsenal coming down the right-hand side here with Ben White. Eugene wants to know how long the albatross mates for. That's a bit sus, Eugene. I mean, why would anybody want to know how long an albatross mates? It's information I do not want to know. It's none of my business. Let them get on with it. Maddison versus Odegaard, says Jack. Well, this season you'd go Maddison, but overall I think Odegaard's better. Oh, Newcastle player's gone down injured here, and Arsenal are on the attack. And we play on again. Bruno Guimaraes. Ball down the right-hand side into Almiron. They've got a bit of a break on here, Newcastle. And now Rice brings it away. It's end-to-end stuff at the moment. Oh, look at this from Declan Rice. Look at this from Declan Rice. Into Nketiah. Back to Saka. Went for the shot. Declan Rice. He's getting better and better in an Arsenal shirt, isn't he, Declan Rice? Just the way he drives from the midfield. Now Saka on the back post. He should have been quicker there. He should have been quicker there. I love that from Rice. The way he just drove out from the midfield and powered his way through. Like I'm powering my way here. Back again. Sorry to be rude, but someone was making pizza. And I thought, you know what? It's too good an opportunity to miss. And the chat won't blame me. Yeah, I'm not stupid. There's not a goal. I've got the TV on. I'll have that bit in a minute. These are very good pizzas you can get from Sainsbury's. They're very good. Corner to Arsenal. Headed away. Pope. Oh, rubbish. Would Maddison be a better signing? What? Would Maddison be a better signing than Mount? Says Rob. 100%. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, thanks. Hashi says, what's your thoughts on the Sheffield United penalty? Absolute disgrace. Does anyone think it was a penalty for Sheffield United? A lot of you might not have seen it because it's a 3 o'clock game. Nimish says, would you swap Sancho for Kulusevski? I'd swap Curtis's dead gran for Sancho at the moment. He won't play. He's literally being paid 300 grand a week to play EAFC. He's about, yeah. He's absolutely no use. Arsenal have switched it up a bit here. Declan Rice is playing really well. He's won another corner. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much. Nice bit of pizza on a Saturday night. Fat Bridge. Which United player do you think is the most likely to become a manager in the future? Don't care, Bart, if I'm being honest. It's very hard to predict as well, isn't it? Another corner for Arsenal here. Gone short into Martinelli. It's not a bad cross. Goes for a goal kick. Derek says you're a bit obsessed with that gran. I don't think she's actually real. I think it's a fictional dead gran. I've got 2 real ones. Dead grans. Tell you what, it's flown by this first 22 minutes, hasn't it? Just a little bit of a reminder, just reminds me when I'm eating doing a stream, because I have to eat on my stream when I do my charity stream. 2 weeks today, it's the international break. I'll be streaming all day for my annual charity stream, raising money for people with terminal illness. Last year we raised 30k. We're trying to go and do it again. And it's mainly just bread. And we're on. Sam says is Chinese the best takeaway. And why is Anthony struggling so much? It's sad. I still think there's a player there with Anthony, but the criticism has to be, you know, you've got to say the criticism is right at the moment. Well, so far so good for Arsenal. I'm not saying it's bad for Newcastle, but so far so good. Very difficult place to come, Newcastle. Very, very difficult place to come. And so far, Arsenal have done rather well. It's all going to be about the first goal, though. Doku beat Martinelli. I'm going to pick a poll here. I'm going to go with... Was it a penalty for Sheffield United? Yes or no? Start the poll. I'll be back in an hour. Don't let her out because of the fireworks. She'll go and jump on that. Sorry, I don't normally exit the room at all on a watch along tonight. I'm up and down like a bloody trampoline. If you haven't seen the penalty, you can't vote, so just don't vote. But I think Declan Rice is running this show at the moment. I don't know what anyone else's opinion is. I feel like there is an Arsenal goal coming. They've really impressed me up until the final third. I think it's just here's Saka, Jorginho, and that goes for a 3. Yeah, I think Arsenal's problem is Nketiah and Havertz. This doesn't work. Doesn't work. DND says Ten Hag is tactically inept. Don't care. The thing about all the Ten Hag stuff is it doesn't really work when we've won a game. So take a week off, you haters. We've won. We're happy. Shut up. You can come back with your agenda in a few weeks' time, because I'll tell you what, all you Ten Hag outers, you may as well have a month off, because we've got Luton at home next week. So bada boom, bada bing. 3 points coming in. And I'm going to milk it like a dairy cow. Mark, why did you stop Goldbridge Reacts? They were hilarious and the community needs them back. The Gordon Ramsay one was a classic. It's just pure time, Robble. Why did I stop driving with Goldbridge? Why did I stop cooking with Goldbridge? Why did I stop Goldbridge Reacts? Because I just haven't had time. Pineapple on a pizza, yes, Hasper. You scraped a goal, Mark, not a win. 3 points is 3 points, John. You're sounding very bitter and rumbled. As United fans are very, very happy. I'm working on a new project at the moment. It's in my mind at the moment, but I'm working on a new project. Man United, look, Luton would get 3 points at home to Luton. Like, with all due respect to Luton, that is 3 points to Man United. If Man United lose at home or don't win at home to Luton, I think every United fan would be Ten Hag out. It's not going to happen. It's not even a potential jinx. That is a sackable offence. If you can't beat Luton, you should get sacked. I'm trying to be respectful to Luton, but they know. Boy says Luton winning coming. Dan Burn with the cross. Oh, what a mess! Callum Wilson's trying to pretend it's a corner. Has he got one? I want a corner now. I love that. This is a classic striker when you miss a sitter. Oh, it's a corner. It's a corner. Hey, where's the corner? Watch this. It's never a bloody corner. I think Dan Burn would have been offside on the build-up anyway. Yeah, there's no corner there. He's got to go with his head as well. Nah. It wasn't as easy as people think, to be fair. Definitely not a penalty. Was falling over before he got touched, although penalty was classed as Tim. Let's be honest, mate. You ran out of recipes, says Nelly. I've not run out of recipes. I've got my Yorkshire pudding one that I was meant to do. I did do Goldbridge Cooks Christmas dinner, didn't I? I think I've already done that one. Could bring it back for that. Where was Rashford today, says Sam. Injured, apparently. Raju says, Havertz is just a piece of the puzzle. He is needed in the overall picture. He is playing the Xhaka role, which needs to be defensive as well as progressive. Yeah, but I don't think Havertz can play that defensive role. I think it will leave you open. But look, you can't complain too much as an Arsenal fan. You're doing well in the league at the moment. And obviously beat Man City the other week. But I'll tell you what, if you think you're in a title race, Arsenal, Liverpool and Spurs, you better keep bloody winning, because Man City at the moment, they don't look like they're going to stop. Although they have got some interesting games coming up, Man City. If Man City don't lose some of these games in the next few weeks, then they're going to run away with the league, because their next game is away to Chelsea next Sunday. Then they're at home to Liverpool straight after that, after the international break, sorry. Then they're at home to Spurs. And then they're away to Villa. And then the hardest of the lot, they're away to Luton. Hi Mark, just wanted to show some support to the channel. I'm a big Villa fan. Thoughts on our season so far, how we'll finish, says Ellis. I think Villa, just keep going about your business. Keep doing your business. Yeah. I was looking at that foul by Dan Burn on Saka. You know what? I got to give Dan Burn credit. I think it's great how he does at left back, because he's just not a left back, is he? But he does do the job very, very well. Yeah, but yeah, I think Villa have just got to go about their business, haven't they? Away to Forest tomorrow, go and win there, and they're just doing really, really well at the moment. Long may it continue, and Spurs. They're there ready to pounce, Villa, aren't they? And there's a nice cushion between 5th and 6th at the moment. Especially if Newcastle don't win today. That gap could go... You know, the gap between 5th and 6th could be as much as 7 points tomorrow. But these teams are cancelling each other out at the moment. Do Goldbridge does Ramadan to 0 connection. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. Appreciate the support. Kushki says, what music are you listening to at the moment? I really think the music scene's crap at the moment. It's just not the music scene I had growing up. You know, even losing things like Top of the Pops. Yeah, I just think music's gone very odd. I don't even understand music anymore. Like the charts and stuff like that. It's just not what it could easily get back, but it's just lost its way, I think, music. Nice little ball in there, but Ben White's trying to win it back and has not won it back. And now Gordon. Just listen to 80s music. That's all I ever do, Andy. All we ever have on is magic. Magic. Favourite Christmas song? Oh, Joshua, we're not doing that. Soon as Halloween's out the way, everyone thinks it's fucking Christmas. It's not Christmas on the 4th of November. "35 minutes gone here. I'll say it and I'll say it again. This game is going to be about who scores first. Moko says, I've just found out I'm going to be a dad. Great news. Is that like because someone's pregnant, or are you like 60 and someone's just knocked on the door and they're 21 and said, I'm your son? I presume it's the former. Havertz is rubbish, says Smith. Will says they put up the Christmas decorations at my work before Halloween. It's a disgrace. But these people who try and... There's a break in the game here, so I can say this. These people who put their Christmas decorations up early and start playing Christmas music in early November, these are the twats who take their Christmas stuff down on Boxing Day morning because they've had enough of Christmas. How's about put your Christmas stuff up in December and then leave it up until, you know, the 6th of January like everybody else does? Stop trying to bring it forward. They'll be putting him up in June next. Where do you see Chelsea finishing this season? I mean, I wouldn't say Chelsea can't get 8th, but realistically, they've got a really tough run of fixtures, Chelsea, haven't they? I mean, they're currently... Where are Chelsea in the league at the moment? So, well, they're not even there. They're not even on page 1. You have to scroll down. Scroll down, FC. So Chelsea got 12 points, which puts them already 6 off 8th. But the bigger problem for Chelsea is... Well, they've got a game in hand as well. But the bigger problem for Chelsea is their next few games. They've got Chelsea. They've got Tottenham away, Man City at home, Newcastle away, and then they've got Brighton. Something's going on here. Something's going on here. So we're getting a bit. So we're getting a bit edgy. Yellow card. Yellow card. Yellow card. Now I don't know what happened. Mattis says it should be a red. I didn't see it because I was too busy talking about something else. Temi says, how's that not a red? You know what? Oh, it's a red. That's a fucking red. He's launched. Sorry, but that's a red. He was absolutely off the ground. I think he's gonna send him off. Oh, he's booked Gordon now. Look, I don't want to see a red card in a game of this magnitude, but Havertz is off the ground. I mean, I don't know how he's not given a red for that, really. And look, I'm sure Arsenal fans will be moaning because obviously they shouldn't get it. Well, look, if they don't get a red, it's their Kovacic leveler, isn't it? Because this would be massively... They're not even going to review it for a red, actually. So he's going to get away with the yellow. For me, I think it's a red. He's off the ground. Yeah. I think he's ended up booking more Newcastle players. He's booked Longstaff as well. He's booked Gordon. He's booked Shaw. Fucking hell, this ref's out of control. So Havertz does a foul that really should have been a red. Newcastle fat players end up with 3 yellows. Oliver Clark says he barely touched him. I don't think it's the fact that he barely touched him, Oliver. I think it's the intent. It was just bloody. It was a wild tackle. It was off the ground, and if he'd caught him, it's one of those where you could end his career. It was a silly tackle, and I think there'll be Arsenal fans out there that if he got sent off, they'd be very angry with Havertz. But it's not been given anyway. It's not been given. Oh, should we do a poll on it? Let's end the poll there. Should Havertz have got a red? I mean, look, I haven't got a horse in the race here. I see it for what I see. I don't do bias. For me, it's a red card. It's another bad decision. But I will say that Kovacic should have been sent off in the against Arsenal. So what goes around comes around, maybe. But I mean, what I find terrible is, look at that screen next to me. Havertz has got a yellow card. So there's 1 yellow card there. And they've had 3 people booked for the same incident. So Havertz does a tackle where he should have been sent off and gets a yellow. And then Newcastle players get 3 yellows for complaining about it. It's just, something's not right there, is it? How can you end up booking 3 Newcastle players and Havertz? More polls than a strip club, says Ashley. Love it. But they've not really replayed it massively either. I'm surprised it didn't go to a VAR check, actually. Look, if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd say, yeah, it should have been a red because you've got away with it. You don't need to worry about it now. You don't need to argue it. It's not going to happen. It's like the Konate one for Liverpool, isn't it? I'm an Arsenal fan, but not a fan of Havertz at all, says Reese. Havertz will score. We've got another Pratt in the chat. TB says intent isn't a qualifier. You really don't understand football, do you? So if I intend to break someone's leg and I miss it, it's not. I'm not going to get a red. You really need to read the rules, mate. Christian said it went to VAR. I mean, I'd like to have a look at it again, but for me, the fact that he's off the ground and out of control makes it reckless. And the only reason he didn't get a red is because they decided not to give him a red. I mean, everything, all the components are there. The player's laying down injured, so. But it's look, the positive for Arsenal is it definitely got Newcastle, didn't it? They got 3 yellow cards. Chelsea fan here. We scammed Arsenal for Havertz, says Mr. And Umbro, Ribena, and Devoy says never a red, you tosser. Thanks, mate. You always know you've won when someone calls you a name. And if that's Casemiro, he's going to prison, says Jay. VAR was busy checking to see if Casemiro's would get a red, says the Inquisition. Yeah, apparently they were still trying to find a way to rule out Bruno's winner. I'm with David. It's crazy. Havertz puts the tackle in, gets a yellow, and then the referee goes and books 3 Newcastle players for complaining. I mean, you know, how you can justify that as a referee? I mean, that's just somebody who's just not with it, isn't it? If I'm refereeing the game and I see that Havertz tackle and I go, okay, it's borderline, but it's not quite a red, and I give Havertz a yellow, I'm not going to go and book 3 Newcastle players. I'm going to go, that's just stupid. Like, Havertz has done the tackle and it's bad. I can't then go and book 3 Newcastle players and put them on the edge of a red. Tommy says, do you think there's too many international breaks? God, yes. I hate them, Tommy. We've got another one next week. I feel like we've only just got over the last one. And then this is the one that does me. That I don't remember when they brought the third one in, but I don't think I remember there being 3. But I know it's been there for a while, but yeah, I don't like this one because it feels like it comes so quickly after the last one. I mean, I know this is game week 3 and then next week's 4, but yeah, I don't get it. I don't like it. And it also feels like the games get progressively worse. I mean, I don't know who England are playing, but I think it's a load of shit. I reckon there'll be a red card in this anyway. There seems to be quite a few tackles flying around. There's another Arsenal player just gone down off the ball there. I didn't see what happened, but it looked a good play by Tomiyasu down the left-hand side. And it goes for a throw-in. Well, the referee's not gone back. Oh, he's going to have a look now. Well, Gameres does sort of bang into the back of his head. I think there is intent in there. It's a little bit like the Polina one. He's definitely done it on purpose. But, again, you won't see a red for that. As I say, it's getting a bit tasty out there. Thanks someone who's tuning in, by the way. Not had a goal yet. Still feel that should Havertz have got a red. 66% of you said yes. 34% said no. We can have a look at... We'll keep that poll running because we can have a look at half-time, which is fast approaching. But here's Martinelli. Oh, he should have crossed that. He should have crossed that. He gets the shot off. But Nketiah's right. The cross was there from Martinelli. He'd made the run. The cross was relatively straightforward. And who's been the best team, says William. No, I think it's been pretty equal. I do feel it. I don't know what the stats say. Let's have a quick look. But I think it's been pretty equal. But I think Arsenal should take heart from that because Newcastle at home are not easy. Yeah, they've had more of the ball. But yeah, it's a pretty equal game, isn't it? Really. I mean, Newcastle aren't really a high possession team. But for me, I think they've shaded it a little bit. Yeah, I mean that Bruno Guimaraes there. That you know, Guimaraes knows what he's doing there. But this is it. You know what? I think maybe Havertz could have got sent off. I think Guimaraes could have got sent off there. So realistically, like I say, I haven't got a horse in the race. To me, it doesn't matter. I'll just see what I think of it. I don't have an axe to grind with Newcastle or with Arsenal. And it's going off again here. They probably need half-time in this game. But it is it's tasty out there. Would you swap Højlund for Nketiah? No, Mr. Best version. No, I wouldn't. But it is tasty out there. But it's tasty out there because this referee's rubbish. He's lost control of the game. And if I was Howard Webb, I'd be looking at this and saying, this ref has lost control of the game. But the interesting thing with the Bruno Guimaraes thing is that there's too many people who are officiating football games who I think start refereeing at like 6 and just referee. Because they clearly don't go and play park football or five-a-side because they've got absolutely no idea of the art of football, I call it. Like, I've played the game. I've left it in on people. I'm sure you've left it in on people. And Bruno Guimaraes there has 100% put his arm up to hit Jorginho. It's not assault, is it? But he knows what he's doing. And by the letter of the law, has he got any right to lift his arm and hit Jorginho? No. Therefore, you could argue it's a red card. So, but the same thing happened last week with Polina against Fulham, against Brighton. He's absolutely left it in on him. So at least they're consistently crap. But I'm telling you now, Newcastle fans might disagree, but he knows what he's doing there. He knows exactly what he's doing there, and it should be, the fact that VAR is there, it's disappointing, isn't it? Because VAR reviews it and goes, no, it's fine. And I'd love to be in that room where they look at the Bruno Guimaraes one and the Polina one last week and go, no, nothing happened, play on. Because I sort of say, well, what do you mean nothing happened? What do you mean nothing happened? Like, he's lifted his arm and he's hit him in the face. No one runs around like this. Unless unless you like spreading BO. Or you're very proud of your deodorant. The referee's like a supply teacher trying to control a... You know what, Mr. Best version? You've absolutely nailed it. Remember when that used to happen at school when you get a supply teacher and you absolutely rinse them? But look, I blame VAR for that one. Ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. But it's half time. Let's get our thoughts on it. Let's get your thoughts upon that. I mean, look, we had whether it should have been a red card to Havertz, and 62% of you said yes. Let's flip that round. Should Bruno have got a red card for Newcastle? Yes or no? Get your votes in there. Big shout out to OneFootball who sponsor our stats carousel. You can download it for free. Links in the video description, or you can scan that QR code in the top right hand corner. As you can see with the stats at half time, Arsenal have shaded it, to be fair. They've had more shots. They've had the only shot on target, but they've had 8 shots to 4 in general. 52% possession. Their pass accuracy is slightly better. They've had 4 corners to 0. And yeah, they're definitely playing with slightly more intent than Newcastle. And I think Arsenal would be very happy with that, because Newcastle at home are a very, very, very difficult opposition. So I think Arsenal will be reasonably happy with that. But it's only 0-0, and the game can change, of course. Casemiro would have got a red easy, says Nakib. I think that, well, I need to see the Havertz one again, because you know what I say. The game's not played in slow motion, and anything looks worse in slow motion. But I think that Gabriel says it's been pretty 50-50. I think the Bruno Guimaraes one is a red for me, because I know he knows what he's doing. I've done it. I'm sure some of you've done it. He knows what he's doing. Like, there's no explanation for it. If he gets a red, he can't, Eddie Howe will be furious. He'd be like, look, all right, mate, it's soft, but it's not a tackle. You've actually assaulted him. I mean, it's more common assault than general assault. It's soft, but you've gone out your way to hit him with your elbow. Let me just clarify this. Casemiro got a red card for grabbing someone's collar. That was a red card. Grabbing someone's collar was a red card. Bruno Guimaraes has gone behind Jorginho, cowardly, and caught him in the back of the head with his elbow. Not hard, it's not going to break his skull or anything like that, but he has caught him. I mean, that should be a red card. That is what's the word? What did they call the Casemiro one? Violent conduct. It's violent conduct. So, I mean, we're talking about 2 red cards here. In general, let's be fair, 2 red cards or 2 players on the pitch. I'd rather 2 players were on the pitch. But, this is what I was talking about Anthony Taylor. The officials are getting away with crap decisions because unless it costs someone the game, it gets forgotten about. But we can't justify crap decisions by going, well, it's equaled itself out. That shouldn't be happening. We should be getting the right decisions. Bruno Guimaraes definitely should be a red. The Havertz one I want to see again. Robbo says Havertz is lucky he didn't catch the player more solidly. I really want to have a look at the Havertz one again. But the Bruno Guimaraes one is a red because he knows exactly what he's doing. And I question the VARs all the time because I just don't think they play football. I don't think they understand the football code, of what happens on a football pitch and the things you can sometimes get away with that you shouldn't be getting away with a VAR camera. So I'm sure they're going to look at these at half time. But yeah, the referee has lost control because he's got 2 massive decisions wrong. I'm already sick of the season because of VAR and inconsistencies, says Louise. Newcastle shows money from the ref's decisions, says Tadus. Havertz wasn't trying to steal the ball, was trying to block the player from kicking it. Here it is, Havertz. It's a red for me because look how he's off the ground. It's off the ground. Even if he gets the ball, oh mate, that's a red. I'm sorry, he's off the ground about 5 meters before. I'm sorry, that's a red. It's a red because you can't not give the red because he doesn't catch the player. He's absolutely off the ground. Like, that is reckless and out of control. For me, that's a red. I've seen it there. That is a red card. He's totally and utterly out of control. Red all day for me. Red all day. But Arsenal fans, chill out because I'd already said Bruno Guimaraes is a red anyway. So I'm not going in on Arsenal. I'm just looking at the decision. He is off the floor and out of control. it's a red card. If he catches his ankle on the full, he's broken his ankle. It's a horrible, horrible attempt at a tackle. But this one, Bruno Guimaraes, watch this. He's out of control himself. He's just gone for a tackle he didn't get. Yeah, definite. Fucking hell, he runs towards him with his hands down there and then puts it up. What's going on with the officiating here? Look, his hands are down, his hands are down, his hands are down, his hands are down. Up it goes, bang. Just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I mean, the Bruno Guimaraes is an idiot, but look, Havertz and Guimaraes are idiots, what they've done. But I'm saying the officiating is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Again, in another big game. Man plays, says Havertz studs are not showing. Mate, I don't care. He's out of control. But that's ridiculous. Look, the first time I saw the Bruno Guimaraes one, I'm like, that's a red card. What are VAR doing? Is someone doing the order for the Chinese takeaway or something? This is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Bruno elbow was way worse than Havertz as 58 go. Look, I accept that some people think the Havertz one's not a red. My personal opinion is he's off the ground, it's out of control, it's dangerous, it's reckless, it's a red card. You could call it an orange, but the Guimaraes one's definitely a red. Definitely a red. So, yeah, not arguing about that. Not arguing about that at all. And I'm not having people who say it equals itself out because that's just incompetence. Like the thing that scares me when people say it should equal itself out. Well, it didn't equal itself out for Brighton last week. Polina did the same thing that Guimaraes did. Didn't get a red card and then scored the equaliser. So Brighton have lost a home win because of bad officiating. So it doesn't equal itself out across the season, does it? Bruno G not even booked. The bar is on the floor, says Elijah. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. But I don't think they can go back and book him. I think they can only send him off, can't they? VAR can only review that. So Arsenal have been a bit unlucky in two big games, haven't they? It didn't stop them beating Man City, but Kovacic should have been sent off. And it might not stop them beating Newcastle, but Bruno Guimaraes should have been sent off. Simple as that. Kira, I'm not listening to Sky, obviously. We have our own community. I don't need scripted ex-player bullshit. But Kira says that they said neither is a red on Sky. Well, it's all subjective, isn't it? But I think that what's the justification for lifting your arm? And, also it's cowardly from Bruno Guimaraes as well. Jorginho can't even see that coming. Although, who remembers that one? Who was it? You've got to be a bit old school to remember this. The worst elbow incident I ever saw was it Ben Thatcher? I can't remember who he played for. Did he play for Leicester or something? You know the one I'm on about? He literally sprints along, and as he's sprinting, goes like that. I think he broke the lad's. It was Ben Thatcher, that was right. Who did he do it on? He broke their bloody face, didn't he? Ben Thatcher for City. Fashanu and Mabit was a long time ago. I don't really remember that one. Ben Thatcher was playing for City. He literally sprinted across and went bang like that. It was disgusting. He smashed his cheekbone. He should have been banned from football. I think he got. It was Pedro Mendes. That was it. I can't remember how long they banned him for, but let me have a look. It's horrific. If you ever get a chance to look at that, I mean, that's basically what his whole career is known for. Yeah, Ben Thatcher elbow. It was absolutely disgusting. He also got banned for elbowing Nicky Summerby as well. Yeah, it was nasty. It was nasty. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, by the way. Get involved. We have got Luton, Liverpool tomorrow afternoon, and we've got Spurs against Chelsea on Monday night football. Newcastle getting 3 yellows for the Havertz challenge is an absolute joke, says Ashling. Oh, mate, absolutely. How can the Havertz tackle happen, which could have been a red? You give him a yellow, and then you book 3 Newcastle players for complaining. I think book 1 of them, I accept, but booking 3 of them for complaining about a bad decision is just, I mean, that's what I mean. He's out of control, this referee, because if any of those Newcastle players get a second yellow and get sent off, you know, it's a problem, isn't it? It's a problem. But look, interesting game. I mean, I've got to be honest, and I might be in the minority here. I do like a game that's a little bit, you know, tasty. I don't want to see nasty tackles, and I don't want to see sendings off or anything like that. But I do like a tasty game, and it has been tasty so far. Havertz not close to a red, caught him with his trailing leg. Matthew, can I just explain to you why I think it's a red? You cannot project your opinion onto the nation. You're not a dictator, Matthew. You know, we're not in the 1940s. I think it's a red card, and you're not changing my mind. I think it's a red card because he leaps off the ground about 5 meters away. He's like a bloody EasyJet. He's off the ground. He's out of control. He's reckless. He's got no idea where he's going to land. And his intent is to go in on that player in one way, shape or form. I've played the game. That's why I'd give him a red, because I know exactly what he's doing. He's lost his temper and he's flying in to put one in on that player. And he's very lucky that he doesn't put him in on that player. I mean, Dan Burns come off. Was he the one who took the tackle? I don't know. Because if it was on Dan Burn, he's put him out of the game. Was it on Dan Burn? Was it Dan Burn who took the tackle? Because if it was, then, you know, it was Longstaff. Okay. That Havertz was more of a red than Jones one, says Alex. And according to the Sky, Bruno not given a red by VAR because it being the forearm and not the elbow. Elbow. Oh my God. Andrew, that can't be true. That cannot be true. I'm not believing that. Imagine if they haven't given him a red because it wasn't the elbow, it was the forearm. So basically, as a footballer, you can now run around whacking everybody with that part of your arm. That's just stupid. So Casemiro can get a red for aggressive behaviour for grabbing a collar. But you don't get a red if you use your wrist. Madness. 75% of you said Bruno Guimaraes should have been sent off, by the way. And we've had nearly 10,000 votes. So the people have spoken of this community. Thanks everyone for tuning in, as per usual. You're legends. I'm on Talk Sports after this, by the way, if you want to call in. Maybe someone can call in about the red cards. I mean, hopefully we'll get some action in the second half that make them not that big a deal. But we're good to go here. How are we doing for subscribers on this channel anyway? Have we hit 1 million yet? We have. Ooh, here we go. We're on 1 million subscribers, but we're on 1,049,000. So we're nearly at 50,000, which is quite a big. We can change the 4 to a 5. So we're only about 500 away. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with That's Football. You're very, very welcome on here. Everybody's welcome on here. That's how it works. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're nearly at 50,000. And as I said, we've got Luton, Liverpool tomorrow. And Spurs against Chelsea on Monday Night Football. And then the Champions League's back, isn't it? Just putting a log on the fire. That's not code for having a poo. I actually used to have a teacher at school who used to say that. Used to be try and get in with the kids. Probably a bit of a nonce. He'd say, I'm just going to go and put a log on the fire, which meant he was going for a crap. Anyway, Bruno Guimaraes comes out for the second half. I'm sure there's been strong words with him from his manager. Calm it down. I don't think he's on a yellow card, is he, Bruno Guimaraes, actually? No. Yeah, of course he's not, because he'd have been sent off for a second yellow. Anyway, second half about to kick off here. We're ready? We're ready. There we go. Has anyone got any good film recommendations, by the way? I need a film. Where'd you get your haircut, says Sergeant, at the hairdressers. Has anyone got any good film recommendations? And don't start telling me stuff like The Departed or Godfather. I mean, I watch a lot of film. I'm just thinking about something new that's on like Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney. I'm not going to the cinema either. Mark, Descent is a bookable offence and something that needs to be stamped out. You can't not book someone just because you just booked someone else. James is obviously Howard Webb in disguise. I've seen The Founder. It was very good. Watched it a few weeks ago. The Equalizer 3, it's not out yet though, is it? It tells you a lot about the football understanding when you show off Jones on a still image because of studs. Havertz one is more dangerous, says Frank. I agree. He's completely out of control. But anyway, let's face it, says Craig. Those running VAR are running around the field with the whistles and flags have made so many errors. Any industry they would be signing on come Monday morning. They're ruining the game, says Craig Peter. And Parasite, it's on Netflix. Best foreign film ever, says Dan. Oh, I've seen that. It's very good. Very good. Prisoners is good as well, Charlie. Maverick's very good as well. Here's Martinelli into the box. Goal kick. Got to give a bit... Can I just actually, you know, away from all the red card stuff, can I just give a very intelligent and deserved shout out to both defences? They played really well. Equalizer 3 is out. Where? What? Where? Why? Where is it, P? Baby, you're a firework. It's the night of the year where Katy Perry gets a good boost on her song. You know what? Actually, this is going to blow your mind. Absolutely blow your mind. I'm going to blow your mind here. Nick Pope's going to get hold of that. So, you know, every Christmas that you get all your Christmas songs. Hold on a minute, Newcastle's passing. You know, every Christmas you get all your Christmas songs. Are you hanging up your stocking on your wall? Are you hanging up your stock? You know, all that. You know how much they earn every year from that? Over 500,000. Every year, guaranteed, they earn over 500,000 from that song. And Mariah Carey with All I Want for Christmas, and the Pogues with Fairy Tale of New York. £500,000 every Christmas they earn from, you know, plays of that song. Probably more now. Amazing, isn't it? I'm just going to write a Christmas song. Anthony Hopkins, The Remains of the Day is a good film, says Matthew Edwards. Nice ball out wide here. Let's Face It, I've done that one as well. You know that song that Queen does? Not Queen. You know that song that the Police do? Sting, Every Breath I Take. That earns a lot of money as well. Are you hanging up your start? I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't start already. It's too early. Even I think it's too early. Phone Booth is a very solid film. Seen it, The Inquisition. I liked a film that was a bit like that with Jake Gyllenhaal as well. Not the one, you know, he's a controller on the phone. It was quite good. Kieran says this ref is pathetic. Havertz shouldn't be on the pitch. What, because he's crap or because he should have been sent off? Jake says, don't sing, Mark. You'll get copyright claimed. I know, I am very good. Alexa, play Are You Hanging Up Your Stocking by Slade. That might set some off. Nightcrawler, I've seen it yet. It's a good play by Newcastle here, out wide. And Ray is there to catch it. Good play by Declan Rice again. Look at him driving. Good defence, though. They're playing well defensively, both sides. A lot of people saying Havertz should have got a second yellow. He does win the ball first, to be fair. I mean, again, it's a little bit reckless, but he does win the ball first. I mean, that's not always a reason not to give a second yellow, but I'm hyped for the new Napoleon movie coming out. Has the same director as The Gladiator, says Harrison. Apparently they're going to do a Gladiator 2. I'm the new recruit of the rubbernicking gang, says George. Here's Gordon. Should have laid that off. Bit greedy. Still greedy. I tell you what, first goal. Arrival, Blade Runner 2049, 7, An Enemy, and Good Time, says Ankit. Thank you very much. I watched True Romance this week, Stephen. Love it. Cracking film, True Romance. Really, really good. It's on ITVX if you want to watch it for free. I think this ref is sweet on Havertz, to be honest, says Becca. I mean, Gordon could have got a second yellow there. Would you take Ramsdale at United? I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with Ramsdale. He's a good goalkeeper, but his Arsenal career has ended abruptly, hasn't it? Some would say unfairly. I do feel for him. I mean, it's ruthless by Arteta, what he's done with Ramsdale. Give Mulholland Drive a watch, Mark, says T-Bone. I reckon I might have seen that before. Nketiah, that's crap. That's rubbish. That's rubbish, Nketiah. But now Newcastle on the attack. He's in. He's in. Oh, he's got that completely wrong. Completely wrong, Gordon. You got that wrong. Watch The Shining. I've seen it. The one thing I haven't seen that I got recommended a lot, you know when you go on like Instagram and Facebook and that, you get your little shorts. The Thing. Heat's one of my favourite films, Jake. P. Mooney says, Almiron's going to score. Just you watch. You know what? If this finished 0-0, I have got Lascelles and Saliba, so it's not too bad. I've also got Saka, though, so I need one of them to get a clean sheet, really, don't I? I don't need a score draw. Thando says Heat is an average film. That just is... If you think Heat is average, that's a really good social experiment of who's intelligent and who's thick, because it's a great film. You got me through some very tough times, says Ankit. No, I'm good. I'm glad to hear that, mate. You've got a great community. Bullet Train. I really want to watch Bullet Train, but I keep forgetting to watch it. Baby, give me what you want. One film I'll never watch is Bonehawk Tomahawk, whatever it's called. Don't watch it. Curiosity will make you watch it. Don't watch it. Bone Tomahawk, that's it. There's Martinelli. Fog of War is just commenting because he's never commented before and probably never will again. Grand Budapest Hotel says Gumball. I was just thinking, actually, I never thought this game would be a draw, but I suppose in some ways it might not be a bad thing for either team. I think Arsenal would look at a draw at Newcastle as not a bad result, and Newcastle would probably say it's not a bad result either. Waterworld is absolutely shit, isn't it, with Kevin Costner? I mean, I remember at the time when that came out and it was the most expensive film ever. And I actually think they did that on purpose. Like, let's make a film that's really shit but call it the most expensive film ever, because everyone will watch it and it doesn't matter how good it is. Memories of Murder, another Korean masterpiece, says Dan. And Frequency is a good film, says Megan Smith. Thank you. Do you prefer... yeah, I'm not going to read that. Rory, you're being rude. Well, the game seems to have calmed down a bit. It's gone down to a simmer. Although Havertz and Joel Linton are still getting at each other. Here's Martinelli. Into Rice. Thief is Michael Mann's Heat. First feature. If you fancy an older one, could do worse. Thank you very much for that, Kenneth. Here's Saka. He's been quite quiet today. Only takes a minute, girl. I mean, look, I think Arsenal have missed Odegaard and Jesus today. I mean, Bruno Guimaraes has just gone and shoved into Jorginho in the back again. I mean, I think they all know that this ref's weak, so they're just doing what they want. In Bruges is brilliant, says Yomo. Baby, you're a fun. Hello.
Am I allowed my snacks?
What are they?
Normal.
Yeah.
Okay. When's Mum going to be back? In a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, someone's just gone down in the box there. 2 people have gone down in the box for Arsenal, but it comes back to Saka. Immortals or the Last Samurai, says Pete the Meat. And Nketiah's still down here. He might want to get up. The ref's a substitute teacher, says Cascade. Here's Martinelli. Lovely play into Martinelli. Oh, it's a lovely cross, but no one's on the back post. Declan Rice heads it wide. Black Mass, Johnny Depp, says Mike. I think I have watched that. I'm not so sure. Let's have a look at what happens in the build-up here. Oh, no, that was the chance. Got some good power on that, didn't he, Declan Rice? Oh, this is crap, isn't it? We saw 2 people go down in the box and Nketiah was injured badly and we haven't seen the replay of it. Just rubbish. Rubbish. Lost is the best series ever made. Must watch, says Aiden. An 80s film, Midnight Run, Robert De Niro, says Ash. I hate that. I absolutely hate that when you have a producer of live football who doesn't engage with the audience. Like, everyone wants to see why Nketiah went down. We don't get to see it. Almiron coming off for Murphy and Willock coming on for Wilson. I lost interest with Lost, but I'm dumped. Do you ever feel... Oh, mistake at the back. Oh, is that... It's still going to stay on. That went out, surely. No, he's instead play on. Newcastle got it on the far-hand side. Cross comes in. Raya. Goal for Newcastle! I think the ball went out here. I think the ball went out. That ball looked out to me in the build-up. Newcastle have scored, but there's going to be controversy here. Newcastle feels like a team going round trying to generate a rival, says Nick P. Well, they've done it. I think the ball's gone out here. There's also talk of an offside. Gordon's loving it. I mean, look, Newcastle fans, don't celebrate this. Now you're going to get the VAR because I think the ball goes out. I think the ball went out. Let's have a look. Here we go. Joel Linton on Gabriel. Nothing going on there. Cross from Callum Wilson. I think that ball's out. I think it goes out. I mean, it's a goal unless the ball goes out. I'm sure the ball was out, surely. Yeah, they're not going to give that. That's out. They can't give. They haven't got the angle. No, go back. You've just moved it. You can't go from there. You just fucking moved the ball. They've just moved it. They haven't got the technology to say that ball's in or out, so they're going to have to not give it. You've got to go. I think with that, if you've not got the technology, you've got to go with your gut. And my gut was the ball was out. But I don't think they can give it. And people are saying there's a push in the back for Gabriel. They're not giving this. It's too controversial. If this isn't out, nor was Rashford, says Gummy Smith. Well, some are saying is Gordon offside as well. I mean, there's a raft of things. I don't think Gordon's offside. I think it could be a foul on the defender. No, he's not. Well, they're checking for a possible foul now. I really feel sorry for Newcastle fans here because you've scored a big goal and they're going to take forever now. They can't give this goal. They can't give it. There's too much going on. They've got to get out of jail here because they can say there's a foul and they don't know whether the ball's out. So they've got to get out of jail here. Because I think the ball's gone out anyway, but they can cover their arse with the foul. Oh, yeah, it's a foul. Look at that. He's pushing him in the back. That's going to be a foul anyway. Kyle says it's not a foul. They'll give it, mate. You can tell by the replays. They're going to give it. They're going to give a foul. That won't be a goal. But they're checking it a lot. They're checking it a lot. Now they're checking an offside. They might give this. Well, he's not offside. I think they're going to give it. If they give this goal, I'll be amazed because I'm convinced the ball's out. I actually think it's a foul. It's not offside. I don't know what they're looking for an offside for. 5 hours later. I don't see how Gordon's offside. He doesn't look offside to me. Giving the goal. Pushed in the back as well. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. It's incredible to give that goal. They've got no tech to say the ball was in. And two-handed push in the back. Fans need to start protesting. I can't believe that goal's been given. I don't even support Arsenal. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that has been given. They don't have the tech. They don't have the tech to say the ball was in. He can seriously see him pushing on his back. And he's given a goal. Well done to Newcastle. Look, no one's taken it away from Newcastle. They've, it's not your fault. But look at this. That ball, they haven't got the technology to say that ball stayed in. They haven't got the technology to say that that's in. And he pushes him in the back. He is pushing him on the back. Look at his hands on the back of Gabriel. It's two-handed. On his back, he uses his hand to push. You know what? Liverpool fans, Arsenal fans, Spurs fans, Man United, Brighton, it's Wolves. Every fucking game, this is happening. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting what is happening to football. I'm tired of it every week. Robbo says they don't have the tech to say it was out either. But if it looks out, you have to give it out. And I think it's out. It looks out to me. And you can't prove that I'm wrong. So get the technology. You can't guess. If you think the ball's out, it's got to be out. You can't guess that it was in because you want to give a goal. And then at lunchtime, you're doing subjective offsides. It's gone. It's nauseating, says Jay. Serves Arsenal fans right for laughing at United for wrong VAR decisions these last few weeks. Horrible decisions coming to a club near you, says Steph. Well, this is it. I keep saying this. Stop laughing at other clubs when they get bad decisions and have some sympathy for the likes of Wolves and everybody else, because it's disgusting. Omar says that United wouldn't have been given that goal. I'm convinced we wouldn't have got that goal. I actually think a lot of people wouldn't have got that goal. I think Newcastle fans should be very, very happy, because I genuinely do. I think a lot of teams don't get that goal given. Honestly, the inconsistency of this ref is actually mind-blowing. So now we can push defenders off balance for headers. Are these refs even real, says Robert. Don't forget the handball by Joel Linton when he was pushing the defender as well, says Rory. Well, don't forget that Bruno Guimaraes should have been sent off as well. So not only should Arsenal be playing against 10 men, they've now had a dodgy goal given against them as well. I mean, it's amazing how it winds me up, and I don't even like Arsenal. But it winds me up because it keeps happening to my club as well. Madness. If Villa win tomorrow, they break into the top 4, says Jack. There's no way that's not a foul. Between this, Bruno, Gundogan and the midweek game where Ramsdale got fouled, there's an agenda against Arsenal, says Declan. Mate, welcome to how I feel as a United fan. I don't think there's an agenda. I just think certain clubs are getting absolutely rinsed on a weekly basis. Look at Wolves. My opinion is give the benefit of the doubt to the attacker, so I'm glad the goal was given, but the problem is they don't do that every game. The trouble with it is, Yakov, they're getting the benefit of the doubt on the ball being in, and they're getting the benefit of the doubt on the foul. I don't think you can give the benefit of the doubt twice. They had the perfect excuse to rule that goal out, because the ball might have been out, and it might have been a foul. So even if you give them the benefit of the doubt on one, you can't give them the benefit of the doubt on two. But I said this referee was out of control. He's been out of control from minute one. You're off to the National League, mate. You're fucking rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. He's had no control of this game from day one. Two oil teams get every call go their way, says Brian. Well, don't a lot of these referees go over to oil states to referee games as well? Something dodgy, isn't there? I think Raya should do better on the cross, Joe. I think you made a great point, unfortunately. United says it doesn't look out at all. I mean, you cannot project your opinion onto everybody else. You're not a dictator. That's why I say, to me, it looks like the ball is out. You can't tell everybody it doesn't look out when, to me, it looks out. They barely looked at that anyway. On VAR, they barely looked at it. And if you go back and watch it, they had it in a position where it looked out and they quickly moved it closer. Did you see that on the replay? They had a position where the ball looked out and then they moved it a frame to make it closer. I wonder what City and Newcastle have in common to get such favourable decisions every week. They have the tech in previous games. What a mystery, says JB. A lot of people saying that in the chat. Well, it's the benefit of the doubt situations that keep going in their favour, isn't it? Hoyland's goal against Brighton should have stood, says Total Football. This is what I mean. I know exactly what goal you're talking about, yeah. We need foreign referees, says Giles. Players should do a walk-off and abandon the game, says Jay. I'm a Leeds fan and it's way more entertaining with no VAR. Oh, Retrix. Championships. Carabao Cup on Wednesday night. I know we got beat 3-0, but it was a better game. Not having to worry about VAR. I love it when there's no VAR. I love it. Look, unfortunately, a lot of these referees are going over to the Middle East and doing jobs on the side. And we've got two clubs in this league who are owned by the Middle East, and Man City especially, seem to get a lot of decisions going their way. I'd be fuming if I was an Arsenal fan. I'm on Talk Sport actually at 7:30, so if there's any Arsenal or Newcastle fans who want to call in and have their say, I'm ready. Let's do it. How do we fans change refereeing? We're powerless, says Charlie. I don't think they even care anymore. There's been times in the last few weeks where I've thought Howard Webb must be stressed. I don't think he cares. That penalty he gave against United was a fucking joke. Happens every game, 5 or 6 times. People grabbing each other in the box. They go and give a penalty. Swanee says there's nothing wrong with the goal. Well, let's do a poll. Should it have been a goal? Yes or no? We've all got an opinion. Sim says, I just don't understand how VAR has actually gotten worse since the awful VAR call in the Liverpool Spurs game. I mean, are they trying to share it out? I don't know, Sims. I really don't know. But look, for me, the ball looked out, and I think that would have been a massive decision in itself, but they seem to move away from that really quickly. You think about the offside in the United game today, it took them about 5 minutes. You think about the offside in the Bournemouth-Burnley game last week, it took them about 5 minutes. They don't even have the technology for that ball, and they took no time. They took no time on it. And look, they're not intelligent people running this show. Like, they're not. And we all know they don't have the technology for that ball to see whether it went over the line. So how can they spend 20 seconds on it? Yeah, they don't know. They haven't got a camera along that line, so they don't know. And they took 20 seconds on it. They spent more time looking at whether it was a foul. I just think for me, if I'm on VAR, I'm like, that ball looks like it's out, but it could be in. I don't know. Oh, we're saved by the fact that he's pushing him in the back. No goal. And what do? There's two really big reasons why you can't give that goal. And they rub them both out and say, yeah, let's give a goal. I mean, common sense says there's 2 big reasons not to give the goal. Well, even if we think one of them's not, we shouldn't give the goal on the second one. What does VAR do? Oh, they decide, let's bypass both and give a goal. Let's give Newcastle the benefit of the doubt like we give Man City the benefit of the doubt. I wonder why. Kevin says, remember, if the ball is roughly 10 inches in diameter, then that means you could still see 5 inches of... I know, Kevin. I know. Because Man United scored a goal against Brighton where this happened and the goal was ruled out. I said this. Man United, again, have been the victim of a goal not being given for the ball being out of play when it looked more in play than that. So I know what a ball can do, but... You know, yet again, it's like the offside that United had their goal taken off them today. Man City had a goal given for that. A lot worse with Akanji against Fulham. And today, Newcastle get a goal where the ball isn't out, even though it looks in. But United get a goal chalked out when the ball is out but looks in. Craig says, these refs and VAR changes the rules for every game. I'm convinced they are now trying to influence games to get certain results. And if there was no such thing as VAR and that goal was given, wouldn't everyone be saying that if there was VAR, it would have been overturned? Well, that's the funny thing, Bizarre. You know, we may as well not have VAR because that would have been a goal. With no VAR, that would have been a goal. And we would all moan saying we need VAR. But now we've got it and it's still a goal. Great point. It's offside too because Gordon was in front of Raya, says Morgan. I don't think it was offside. I mean, I'm not gonna add that into the equation. I don't actually think it was offside. But I think it was I think the ball was out, and I think it was a foul. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're nearly at 50,000. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. It's been a funny old game, and I did say who scored first would win, and it's very much looking like that's going to be the case here. Although, Havertz with the cross, good defending. I think both teams have defended well as well. No doubt about that. No doubt at all. But, yeah, it's going to be a long trip back to London for these Arsenal fans, and they don't think about that, do they? They don't think about the Brighton fans driving back from Liverpool. I know they got a draw in the end, but I think the dunk goal should have been given. If you haven't got the technology, why bother? Trossard. I've only got 10 minutes left here, Arsenal. James says, Mark, you're wrong. 64% of you said it should it have been a goal. Sorry, 36% said it should have been a goal to Newcastle. 64% of you said it shouldn't be a goal to Newcastle. Oil Premier Leagues, that's what she said. See what you mean about Gary Neville now. Think he just says things to wind people up. He said it was never a push, says 58 go. Well, who did Gary Neville used to play for? Man United. I don't think he likes Arsenal, does he? So, you do get... we get it with United all the time. Ex-players who are pundits and commentators who don't like United. You're not going to get even hand... I think I do, without blowing my own trumpet, I think I do a fair job of being as impartial as I can be because I love football. And look, I'd rather Newcastle... The stupid thing is, I'd rather Newcastle beat Arsenal because I dislike Arsenal more than Newcastle. But I don't watch football like that anymore. I watch football in a way of I want to see fairness. And when I see injustice that should be avoided, I'll call it out. And I always look at it from, if that happened against my team, how would I feel? And the stupid thing is, we've had a goal already this season chalked off for what Newcastle did. So I'm with Arsenal on this one. I think it's bang out of order. But I'm not. But also, I'm not against Newcastle. I think this is where people go wrong. Newcastle fans will be super hypersensitive, saying it's a goal, it's a goal, it's a goal. I respect that. It's your team, you want to win. I get that. It's a massive 3 points for Newcastle. But I'm not blaming Newcastle. You play to the whistle, you score a goal. It's not Newcastle's fault. It's the officiating. It's not Newcastle. They don't make the decisions. And even if they did, they'd say it's a goal because you're going to be biased. Of course you are. It's the bad officiating. Martinelli crossed to the back post. I mean, this is a cracking result for Newcastle, by the way. Højlund was done over by Gabriel too, as says Juan. Gabriel is a Liverpool fan and says it's a goal. Oh, look, I get that. I mean, you're in a title race. You want Arsenal to drop points. I mean, it's a big 3 points for Arsenal to drop, by the way. It's great for Man City. If I'm Man City, I'm absolutely loving this because I genuinely don't think Spurs are going to last that long. So Arsenal dropping points is great. The pressure's off. I don't know. We need to know who the VAR officials are as well because, I know it's Atwell, the main ref, but there are obviously, You've got to look at that. He's had a bad game, that referee, though. I mean, not even just from a Newcastle point of view. I think with the Havertz thing, it's fair to say, you know, he's had a you know, the three bookings of Newcastle players as well. I mean, the thing is with Joel Linton is you can see him forcefully pushing Gabriel. Like, you can actually see the push. I feel like I have got my glasses on. Yeah, I have. I mean, you can forcefully see the two-handed push in the back. Michael Oliver's VAR again. No. No, it's not. Internet Explorer, I'm trying to jinx Spurs and hope that they don't fall off, but it might work. Apparently Michael Oliver is VAR. Okay, all I can say is unlucky Arsenal. We had it last week. He's absolutely terrible. He's the guy who went searching for that penalty against Man City. He's absolutely dreadful. The history of Michael Oliver goes like this. The offside goal for Man City against Fulham, he gave it. The Kovacic red cards, he didn't give it. The Højlund penalty against Man City, he gave it. And the goal against Arsenal that shouldn't stood tonight, he's given it. No, it's not. It's not Michael Oliver. It's not Michael Oliver, is it? It doesn't matter. You know, as someone said in the chat, it doesn't matter whether it's Oliver or not. The VAR is incompetent. Uh, 4 minutes to go for Arsenal. I'm on Talk Sport soon. I might have to go a little bit early here because I've got to get over to Talk Sport. But I'm live at 7:30, so let's see how many minutes are added on. But thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. I'm not going quite yet, but I will be going soon. We've not hit 50,000 subscribers yet, by the way. Please do subscribe. We're only 300 away. Probably one of the worst refereeing displays I've seen in a non-Man United game for ages. The worst one I ever saw was Anthony Taylor, Arsenal Chelsea FA Cup final. But this has been pretty bad. This has been pretty bad. Look, I've seen worse decisions in games, but for across the whole game, I think he lost control after about 10 minutes. Apparently, you have to go with the on-field if VAR is inconclusive, says Yo. But they didn't go with the on-field with Rashford's against bloody Brighton when the ball wasn't over the line, did they? Tom says that Bruno should have been sent off multiple times. Broken game, says Murky. Get your calls in. I'm on Talk Sport straight after this. It's on YouTube as well. 03717 223344. I'll be on from 7:30. . Absolutely crazy. I can't believe we're watching football on a consistent level where every game week we're getting multiple bad decisions. It's really, even I would say I'm surprised by it. Like just by how often it happens. But it does keep happening. Just about to see how long's going to get added on here. There we go, another foul. Another yellow card. You know, I think the thing is, I don't remember a time in football where so many big games, and it always seems to be the half-5 game, doesn't it? So many big games are being ruined. Like Man City Arsenal was a half-5 game, Kovacic. Liverpool Spurs was a half-5 game, the onside goal not given. Newcastle Arsenal half-5 game, we've just seen what's happened here. These games that we look forward to, not just the supporters of the clubs involved, but they are the game of the week. So everybody looks forward to watching these. There'll be loads of fans who aren't Arsenal and Newcastle fans watching these games. We all look forward to them, and they get ruined week in, week out by, nerds on a computer is what I call them. Mark, as an Arsenal fan, I saw the VAR in the United game and it was a disgrace, and the Newcastle goal was also a disgrace. I'm livid, says Mark. I mean, the problem is, Liverpool could argue they should have 3 points. You could argue you've been deprived of 3 points. And at the end of the season, when you're trying to chase Man City down, we all know you can't afford to be losing 3 points that you don't deserve to lose. So, it feels like a bit of a conspiracy. I mean, look, is it a conspiracy? I don't know. But Man City have had a lot go their way this season. And, Arsenal have had a lot not go their way so far, to be fair. And certainly Liverpool have as well. It's not balancing itself out at the moment, unfortunately. There's a lot of big decisions going. Right, Havertz should have had 3 yellows and a red, but somehow is still on the pitch. I'm not disputing that Havertz should have had a red. I'm also saying Bruno Guimaraes should have had a red. So, maybe there should have been a red for Arsenal. There should have been a red for Newcastle. I don't think it should have been a goal for Newcastle either. Remember the Japan goal that was allowed to stand in the World Cup? Very similar, says Robbo96. Jason says you've got to go on Talk Sport, Mark. I have. You're right. I'm gonna leave in a moment. I just wanted to see what happens with this attack. Jamie says get help for your City derangement syndrome. If anyone watches my content, you'll know I don't actually get that bothered about the wider rivalry in football anymore because United are nowhere near it. So if City don't win the league, Liverpool or Arsenal win the league, and I don't like either of them either as a United fan, so it doesn't massively bother me. But what does bother me is inconsistency and the disparity in fairness across many results and decisions. And I think there's some absolute stinkers going on at the moment. Absolute stinkers. If you want to join me, I'm going to be talking in about 5 minutes' time on Talk Sport. So make sure you get involved. I will be live over there. I've not put the link in the description. I should have done, but it's Talk Sport YouTube channel. I'm going to be tweeting it out very, very soon. But the headphones are going on. I'm ready to take your calls. 03717 22 33 44. I'm going to be over on Talk Sport for the Mark Goldbridge show. And looking forward to that. In fact, I'm just going to whack it into my chat now. I will just drop the link in the description for you. There we go. I've dropped it in the video description. I can't stay until the end because my TalkSport show actually starts at 7:30 and it's 26 minutes past, so I literally cannot do that as much as I might like to. But thanks everyone for tuning in. I don't think Arsenal are going to find a way back into this, and ultimately I think the headline has to be that Arsenal have been robbed. I will see you over on TalkSport if you want to join me. If not, thanks very much for tuning in. Been a good game, but horrible decisions.